Welcome to my Dragon Flow YinYasa class. If you're not familiar with YinYasa, all it is a practice where we do a few yin postures in the beginning while the muscles are cool to help open and release through the connective tissue. And then we move quickly into a Vinyasa style practice, feeling a little more open and supported as we do. Because there are yin postures, I highly recommend having props nearby, such as a blanket, a bolster, blocks, whatever you may need to support the body in the different yin postures, or to have extra support for our YinYasa practice. This is an intermediate class, so as always, honor your body, honor your practice, modify where you need, and opt out of things altogether if you need. We are going to get started when you're ready in a cat-tail twist. So you'll go ahead and lie down. As you lay down on the mat, you'll draw your left knee into the chest for a moment, and then you'll press the left knee across the body over to the right. And as the left knee comes over, there's a few different options and variations of a cat-tail twist. This might be where you stay and perhaps you need support underneath of the left knee or behind the length of the spine. You might extend your left knee out to the right and maybe reach for the left foot with the right hand, or loop the left foot with a strap or a scarf of some sort. This might be where you stay, or if you wish to come into the fullest variation of the pose, which isn't mandatory, it's just an option. You might bend your bottom right knee and reach for that foot with the left hand, or loop that with a strap or a scarf or belt or something. In our yin postures, we're not pulling, we're not forcing ourselves to go deeper. So even though we're holding on to the feet, perhaps, you still want to try to soften and not pull with the hands or have a really firm grip with the hands, but try to bring as much ease into that grip as you can. If you haven't already, allow the eyes to close. Begin to come into your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of your inhales and exhales. The filling and emptying of your inhales and exhales. With each of our yin postures, as always when we practice yin yoga, we aim to find our 3 principles of yin. The first one being that we find our edge, so we find that appropriate variation of the pose and depth of the pose for us, which is the place where we feel it. We feel the sensation, the opening, the releasing. But we don't feel so much that we feel pain or an overwhelming amount of sensation that we can't sit with. We don't support the pose so much that it becomes restorative to where we don't feel any sensation. And restorative yoga itself has a time and a place. It's a beautiful, powerful, necessary practice. But the purpose of it is different than yin. So we try to not make our yin poses restorative. And when we're practicing restorative yoga, we try to not make those poses yin poses. They're both great practices. And then after you find that edge, the place where you can stay, then we find our second principle, stillness. So we close the eyes, even avoiding the urge to look around and fidget through the eyes. We try to resist the urge to fidget through the hands or fingers or through the toes. And of course, there are always exceptions to the rules, so if we go too deeply to where our edge becomes overwhelming, we can always mindfully move to back out and readjust. And likewise, if our edge melts away and makes space to deepen safely, then we can always move and adjust to go deeper when that happens. But it's that mindless, unintentional movement that we aim to limit and avoid here. And that takes us into our third principle, which is that we stay for a length of time. It's the stillness, the time, and the surrendering that allows the body to open and space to be made. Stay with the breath. And even more so, the breath acts as an anchor to keep the mind present and steady. But you might find that just like with any other practice, that maybe you wish to set an intention for yourself here to keep the mind steady. And so here, think about why it is you're choosing to practice right now today. What keeps you coming back to your mat time and time again? And bring that reason into the forefront of your mind. And together, we seal those intentions in by taking a deep breath in through the nose and a long sigh through the mouth. Take a couple more breaths here, still in stillness, still in softness. And take another deep breath in. Sigh it out. Very gently, slowly start to let go of any connection you might have. Bring the knees back to center. Move slowly. Hug them into the chest. Gently rock side to side for a moment. And find any movements that you need to counter that pose in the body. Maybe you want to find bridge pose a few times, or plow pose, happy baby pose. Just hugging the knees into the chest and rocking more. Take a few breaths. And then here, gently extend the legs out in front of you, the arms by the sides. Just resting in a Shavasana-like position for a few moments, allowing that pose to settle into the body. Good. Then as you're ready, preparing to switch sides, gently hug the right knee into the chest. Hold it there for a moment or two, an Apanasana. And then gently press the right knee across the body over to the left, beginning to set up your cattail twist. So again, the knee can be bent. You can stay here and support yourself however you need. Maybe you grab a hold of the right foot with the left hand and extend the leg long out to the left. Maybe you bend your left knee and reach for the left foot with the right hand. Maybe use a strap to help you make those connections. Perhaps you have a blanket underneath of the hips, a block underneath of your right knee, or support underneath the length of the spine. Find your edge. Close your eyes. Find stillness. Find softness. Find your breath. and stay. And the mind starts to wander. Come back to whatever's anchoring you in the present. Whether that be the sensations in the body that you feel, the breath as it moves through the body that you feel, your intention, your mantra, your affirmation. Perhaps you have music playing and you're allowing the music to be an anchor, listening to it to stay present. It's one of my favorite tools to use when I'm practicing yin. Notice if you started to pull or grip or engage anywhere. As much as you can, keep reminding yourself to soften. Take 15 more breaths here. Take a few more breaths. Soften a few more moments. Good. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Slowly, gently start to release anything you might be grabbing a hold of. Come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Because the muscles are soft in yin, when we go to move again and the muscles activate again, there can sometimes be a little bit of discomfort or tension in the body. But generally, after a few moments, that discomfort will melt away. So just be patient when you're moving out of a pose to move slowly, mindfully, and intentionally so that you can avoid some of that and gently work through it. And find any other movements you might wish to find for the next few moments to counter that pose in the body, that cat-tail twist. Inhale. As you exhale, gently roll the spine back down. If it's lifted, extend the arms and legs long and wide. Find that Shavasana-like pose for a few moments just to let the body settle, to let the pose and the effects of the pose settle into the body. Deep breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. As you're ready, gently draw the knees in and roll off to one side, pushing yourself up. And here we'll work to come into our dragon pose with our right leg forward first. And so this is a pose that I highly recommend using props for if you need, especially if the hips are tight, because it is a more intense yin posture. But you'll bring your right foot forward, wiggling it slightly out to the right so your hands can come inside. And you want to have your left leg back. And it doesn't matter how deeply you're coming into this, but the only suggestion that I'll make, which is a very similar suggestion that I make in lizard pose in a vinyasa practice, is that we want to make sure that our back knee is slightly behind our back hip, so it's not directly underneath of it. That can cause a lot of tension because gravity is pushing your weight straight down into the knee, into the mat. When we're slightly forward of the knee, even if it's just an inch or so, that lets us come off our kneecap some and put a little less weight and pressure on the knee. A blanket underneath of the back knee can be a good tool here as well. And what I like to do here often is to put a bolster or a block wedge slightly underneath of my back thigh so that I have something to ease forward onto. You might stay up on hands, you might come down onto forearms. You might put a block or bolster or blanket or pillow underneath of the forearms. And unlike in a vinyasa class where we really stress about the alignment of lizard pose, here when we're coming into dragon pose, the yin variation and version of this shape, give yourself a little bit of grace. If the front knee falls out to the side, let it. If the foot falls open, let it. Find a place where you can settle into your edge. Perhaps support for the head and neck or forearms, support for the thigh or the hips. In a more intense hip opener like this one, it's really important that we don't go so deeply in that we overestimate our edge and we're not able to find any stillness or softness. Close the eyes when you're ready. And breathe. Notice if you started to clench the jaw, clench the eyelids shut, grip the fingers or toes. Find that softness. Take 10 more breaths here. You're almost there, a couple more. And take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Slowly start to rise back up onto the hands if you lowered down. Slowly press into the hands to take your right knee back to meet your left. And then tuck the toes under, lifting to down dog. Down dog can be a nice counter stretch from our dragon pose here as we bring more action and energy into the legs and hips. You can move, or maybe you just settle right into stillness instead. Breathe here, take a few more breaths. Notice how the right side, the right leg, the right hip feel compared to the left side, the left leg, the left hip. And inhale. As you exhale, drop the knees down. Step your left foot forward and begin to set up for your dragon pose on the left side. It might look exactly the same as it did on the other side, or it might be very different. Our hips tend to be pretty asymmetrical to each other, especially in a pose like this. And again, especially if you practice vinyasa a lot and lizard pose a lot, let go of what you think you know about that pose. And think of this as a separate pose altogether, because it is. Even though the shape might outwardly look the same, the way that the sensations feel in it, the actions the body's taking, and our alignment are slightly different to completely different. Support yourself however you need, with a blanket under your right knee, a bolster under your right thigh to ease your weight forward as you come forward. Blocks or bolsters underneath of your forearms or your forehead or both. And also give yourself grace if it's very difficult for you to find an appropriate edge and to be still here. Especially if you don't practice yin yoga very often, this pose can be intense. And especially for those of us that are used to moving quickly in and out of poses, doing a lot of vinyasa or ashtanga or power yoga, it'd be really difficult to hold a pose with discomfort and sensation for a longer period of time. So give yourself credit for trying, for maybe stepping out of your comfort zone if that's true for you. And know that just like in vinyasa, as it gets easier with practice, as you get stronger and can go longer and have more endurance, more stamina, that the ability to surrender in a yin posture, to be still for longer and to let go more, is a practice too. And that it too gets easier with time and practice, just with ease instead of effort. Which is why we often call Vinyasa and those styles of yoga yang, which is the counterpart to our yin. Stay with the breath. Notice if you're tensing, engaging, forcing. Allow yourself to soften. Take 10 more breaths here. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Slowly, gently, gradually, and mindfully work your way out of this posture. Sliding the left knee back to meet your right. And then tucking the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Again, maybe it's stillness that feels best for you now. Maybe it's movement. Just counter that pose by bringing action and energy into the legs and lower half of the body. And as you inhale here, lift the heels high, engage the thighs, roll forward to plank. Looking forward as you get there. Breath in. Exhale, up and back to down dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, up and back. Once more, inhale, roll forward. And as you exhale, shift forward to lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, the heart lifts. Exhale, the hips lift, returning to down dog. Deep breath in. Breath out. As you inhale, bend the knees and step or hop the feet, coming to the top of the mat. Lengthening the spine on your inhale and folding on your exhale. And as you fold in this first fold, soften the knees and grab a hold of opposite elbows. This is actually a yin posture in itself called our dangling fold. I'm not going to hold it as long as a typical yoga yin posture. So let the head and neck be heavy. Find some passive lengthening to the spine. Maybe you sway side to side. And then relax the toes, and as you inhale, slowly roll bone by bone. Come all the way up to stand. Let the head and neck come up last. Let the arms reach overhead. Exhale, samasti tahi, hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in here and a full breath out. And as you inhale, the arms reach overhead. And at the top, interlace the fingers, steeple the pointer fingers up. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, reach up and over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale to center. And as you exhale, separate the hands and sink the hips back to chair pose, Utkatasana. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale here. As you exhale, stay in the bend of the knees. Maybe bend a little deeper and sweep the arms back behind you for airplane arms. Inhale, reach the arms back overhead. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale to airplane. Pause here and just squeeze the arms towards each other. Maybe you interlace your fingers together, reaching back through the knuckles, forward through the crown of the head and the heart. Maybe you sit a little deeper. Inhale. And as you exhale, straighten the legs, rise up, keep the fingers interlaced, maybe lean back for a moment. And then fold forward, maybe reaching the arms overhead. Inhale, halfway lift, release the interlace of fingers. As you exhale, step back to plank. Inhale here. As you exhale, drop the knees. Without shifting forward, drop the chest and the chin to the mat. Leave the hips lifted. As you inhale, press straight up. Exhale, drop the chest and the chin down. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, straight up, lift the knees up. As you exhale, come into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. As you inhale, the right foot steps forward between the hands, rising up to warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. And deep breath in, breath out. Here in your warrior 1, cross your right arm on top of your left, finding eagle arms. If this is too much in the shoulders, just give yourself a hug without wrapping the wrists and forearms. And stay in the bend of the front knee, but lift up and out through the elbows and fingertips. Breath in, breath out. As you inhale, straighten your front leg, reach up a little further. Exhale to bend back in and round forward. Inhale to straighten the front leg and rise up, reach up and back. Exhale, bend in, round forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, round forward. Good. Pause here. Maybe you fold in a little bit more. Stay in the bend of the front knee. And inhale to rise up. Unwind the arms. Take the hands to the hips. Straighten the front leg. Shorten and widen your stance slightly, coming into pyramid pose stance in the legs. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. Fold over the front leg as you exhale. Maybe blocks are under the hands. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen. Either fold back in or take a block underneath of the left hand or tent to left fingertips. Take the right hand to the low back or right hip and start to twist to the right. Maybe you reach the right arm up overhead, finding revolved triangle, Pavrita Trikonasana. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, lower the right hand down. Begin to shift forward to lift the left leg up and back, finding a brief standing split. Inhale here. And as you exhale, tuck the left knee behind the right. Bend the right knee deeply. And either stay here squeezing the thighs together with the hands on the mat, or maybe you take the hands to the heart, finding balance here on bird on a wire. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, work your way to Utkatasana, chair pose. Reach the arms up. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, rise to stand, finding Samastitihi, hands to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, the arms reach overhead, interlacing the fingers at the top. Breath in for length. Exhale up and over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale. Exhale right. Inhale. As you exhale, separate the hands, sit back, Utkatasana. Breath in, breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, sweep the arms back to airplane. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale up. Exhale back, pause here, squeeze the arms together, maybe interlace fingers with the opposite thumb on top. Draw back through the knuckles, take a breath in, maybe sit a little deeper, breath out. As you inhale, press down into the feet, lift the heart at the top, maybe lean back some, keep drawing down through the knuckles. And as you exhale, fold forward, maybe reaching the arms off of the blow back, reaching them overhead. Breathe into the shoulders wherever you are. Inhale, lengthens the spine, release the hands. As you exhale, fold forward, stepping back to plank. Inhale here. As you exhale, drop the knees, drop the chest and the chin, squeeze the elbows in by the sides. Inhale, press straight up, keep the knees down. Exhale, chest and chin drop down. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, straight up, lift the knees up, back in your plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, heart lifts. Exhale, hips lift to down dog. Take a breath. As you inhale, step the left foot forward, come up to warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Good. Deep breath in. Breath out. At the top, take your left arm on top of the right for eagle arms, or give yourself a hug without wrapping the forearms. Stay in the bend of the front knee at first. Squeeze the arms together, lift up through the elbows, up through the fingers. And as you inhale, straighten the front leg, lift up and back. Exhale, bend back in, round forward. Inhale, rise up, straighten the leg, reach. Exhale, round forward. Bend back in. Inhale, straighten and rise. Exhale, round forward. Pause here for an extra breath. Maybe go a little deeper. Really power back through your back leg, sealing into the outer edge of the back foot. Breath in and out. Inhale to rise up, straighten the front leg, release the arms to the hips. Slightly shorten and widen your stance up, setting up for pyramid pose, Parvottanasana. Make sure the pelvis is even and level, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, begin to fold over the front leg. Maybe blocks come under the hands, maybe not. Inhale, lengthens the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen. You'll either fold back in or moving towards revolved triangle. The right hand will come to the inside or outside of the left foot, maybe with a block under it. Left hand comes to the low back or the left hip, beginning to twist and revolve to the left. Breathe where you are. And deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the left hand down if it's lifted. Begin to shift forward for a brief standing split, lifting the right leg up and back. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your left knee, tuck the right knee behind it, bird on a wire. Hands either stay on the mat for support, just squeezing the thighs, or maybe you take the hands to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. As you exhale, find chair pose, Utkatasana. You got it. Deep breath in, breath out. Inhale to stand. Exhale, Samastiti to he. Take a breath. And on your next inhale, the arms reach. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, we meet in down dog, stepping or springing back, moving through vinyasa, or skipping it if you'd like. You can always skip a vinyasa. And in your down dog, the right leg lifts. Stack the hip, bend the knee. Stay here or flip your dog into wild thing pose if you'd like, dropping the right foot back. Left foot is like a side plank. Deep breath in. Breath out. As you inhale, very mindfully work to come around and step the right foot forward. Spiral the back heel down. Begin to rise up to warrior two. Back foot slightly turned in. Front knee is over the ankle. Breath in here. Breath out. As you inhale, come forward to side angle pose. Really reach through the left fingers. Find a lot of length through the left side body. Good. Stay here. Maybe you try to take your right hand down to the mat, to your right ankle or to a block, reaching the left arm over. Maybe you try to take the left arm behind the back in a half bind. Maybe with or without a strap, you even try to take a full bind around that front thigh. A lot of stopping places here. There's no need to go one further than where you need to be for you. Breath in. Breath out. And as you inhale, work to gently unwind and rise up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reverse your torso, reverse triangle. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rising up, turning the right foot in, turn the left foot out, and find triangle facing the back of the mat. Maybe a block is underneath of your left hand. Strengthen through your back right leg. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands down to frame your front left foot. Drop the back knee down. Come up to a low lunge. Inhale here. As you exhale, take the hands to the heart and begin to twist to the left. Maybe hook the right elbow across the left thigh. Breathe here, twisting through the belly and core of the body. And inhale to center. As you exhale, plant the hands down. Lift the back knee off of the mat and begin to walk the hands and pivot the feet all the way back to the front of the mat, framing your front foot in a lunge. Inhale here. As you exhale, we meet in downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, bends the knees. Exhale to step or hop. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, the arms reach. Exhale the hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Breath out. Here, begin to shift weight into your right foot, bringing the left foot back into the left hand, bringing the knees together. You can stay right here, just drawing the heel towards the seat to stretch your back quadricep, Or you'll reach the right arm up and start to kick back into the left hand, coming forward for dancer pose, Natarajasana. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. As you inhale, slowly start to rise up. Bring your left knee forward and cross it over the right. Now take your right arm over top of the left, finding eagle pose, or give yourself a hug without wrapping forearms. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a breath in, a breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, unwind and fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to meet in downward facing dog. And in your down dog, as you're ready, the left leg lifts. Stack the hip, bend the knee. Stay here and open the hip or flip your dog to wild thing pose. If you're flipping, lift the hips, lift the heart, take a breath. And from wherever you are, we work to mindfully come around, stepping the left foot forward, spiraling the back heel down, and working to rise up and open to warrior two. Deep breath in, breath out. As you inhale, coming forward to side angle pose, Parshva Konasana, still slightly turning that back heel in. Finding length in the right side. Breathe. Good. Stay here, or maybe you take the left hand down to the inside of the left foot or to a block. Maybe the right arm comes behind the low back. Maybe you even bind the left arm underneath of that front thigh to find a full bind. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. As you inhale, gently rise back up. Straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Reach through the left arm. Inhale, rise up. Turn your left foot in, turn your right foot out. Begin to find triangle facing the back of the mat. Keep firming into your back foot, engaging the back leg. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands down, drop the back knee down, rise up to a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale here. As you exhale, take the hands to the heart, lean forward, twist to the right. Breathe where you are, twisting through the belly. And inhale to center. Take the hands down, lift the back knee. Walk the hands and pivot the feet to face the front of the mat again. We meet in down dog. As you're ready, inhale, bends the knees. Exhale to step or hop. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise up, the arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart, Samastitihi. Deep breath in. Breath out. Here, shift your weight into your left foot. Begin to kick your right foot back into your right hand or loop your right foot with a strap. Reach the left arm up. Stay here, just focusing on balance and stretching out that right quadricep, or begin to find Natarajasana, dancer pose, kicking back into the right hand, Bringing the heart and torso forward, the shoulders back. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly start to rise back up, working to bring the right knee forward, crossing it up and over the left, eagle legs. Bring your left arm on top of the right, eagle arms, Garudasana. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe here. Inhale. As you exhale, release and fold forward. Inhale, lengthens the spine. As you exhale, step back to plank. Lower all the way down to the belly. As you lower down, take your arms back behind you. Preparing for locust pose. As you inhale, begin to press into the hands, feet, and hips to lift the head and neck and chest off of the mat. Good. Maybe the legs lift. Maybe the arms lift. Good. Maybe you interlace fingers back behind you. Breathe here. Try to keep the legs within the frame of the hips. They like to try to come wider apart here sometimes. Keep them in. They don't have to touch, just not wider than your hips. Inhale. Exhale to lower down. Turn your head to one side for a moment. Take a few breaths. Inhale to center. Second round, as you're ready, press down to lift as much or as little off the mat as you'd like. Maybe you interlace fingers with the opposite thumb on top this time. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Another breath in. Another breath out. Bring your chin back to center, and one more time as you're ready, press down to lift. Maybe this last time you bend the knees and reach back for the feet or ankles to find YinYasa, bow pose. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, gently lower down. Turn your face to one side and windshield wiper the feet side to side for a moment or two. And then as you're ready, re-extend the legs back behind you. Lift up just so that you can flip over onto the back. And as you come onto the back, hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Maybe you circle the knees in clockwise and counterclockwise. And then here, let the arms come into cactus or goalpost arms. As you inhale, draw the knees into the belly. And as you exhale, let both knees fall to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale the knees to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. One more time to each side. Inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale to the left. Inhale to center, hug the knees in one last time. And as you exhale, release your body wherever it is you wish to take Shavasana today. Whether that's with the legs long and the arms long, perhaps in a reclined bound angle, or maybe if the low back is sensitive, you'd like to bend the knees towards the ceiling and knock the knees together to touch, moving the feet wider apart. Maybe you'd like to stay seated in a meditation or put your legs up the wall if you're near one. Find a place where you can soften, where you can let go of the yin, where you can let go of the yang, where you can just be, and where you can be still without sensation as much as possible, without any sense of doing. Finding a balance to all of the practice. Nowhere left to go, and nothing left to do except to just be here and be still. Gently begin to deepen your breath, taking your deepest breath in so far, your longest, softest breath out, drawing the knees into the chest, gently rolling off to one side or the other. Pausing on the side for a moment. And just taking the time to thank yourself for making the time for this practice. Whatever it was that you had to do to be able to practice today, knowing that it was enough. Thanking yourself for that. And with that gratitude and that same hand, gently pressing yourself up to seated, bringing the hands together at the heart. And I just wanted to end this practice by extending my own gratitude towards you, whoever you are, wherever you are, for sharing your time, your practice, your effort, and your ease with me. I hope that you can carry any benefits you have from this practice with you for however long you may need them. And until we see each other again,